Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. We are on the late afternoon of the 19th day of Shawwal in the year 1440. And we are returning to our, inshallah, regular lessons at this time here at Masjid al-Awwal in the study of Al-Muqaddimah al-Ajurrumiyyah. We have arrived on lesson number 24. Lesson number 24 says two indicators of the Majzoom case. In Arabic, the text of Ibn Ajurrum's speech is وَلِلْجَزْمِ عَلَامَتَانِ. The Jazm case has two signs. This is the least of all signs for any case. Just two signs. They are as-sukunu wal-hadfu. Sukun, well known. The lack of a haraka. No fatha, no dhamma, no kasra means sakina. That means it's a letter that is sakin with a sukun. And hadf is well known. What's the meaning of hadf here? Hadf of what? Hadf al-nun. Hadf harf al-illa? Hadf al-nun. What do you say, Ya Aba Maryam? Hadf al-nun faqat? He says hadf al-nun. إثبات النون وحذف النون في أي شيء يعني في أي موضع أين موضعه؟ الأفعال الخمسة or الأمثلة الخمسة. That's all. You're done, huh? So لم يذهبوا. لم يذهبوا. يذهبون بثبوت النون or بثبات النون or بإثبات النون. Any of those words will work. And then لم يذهبوا. Now we call this حذف النون. The noon is gone. That's the only time that a hadf is a sign of jazm. Just asking for curiosity. We're going to get into the details of that in lesson 26, insha'Allah ta'ala. But I'll just give you a little seed planted now. There is another way, and it's not the noon. There is another set of three letters that could be mahdhufa if it is majzoom. So let's do a little bit of review. As we go into al-jazm, we have already talked about alamatul rafa', the signs of something being marfu'. We have already talked about alamatul nasbi, the signs of something being mansub. We have already talked about alamatul jarri, in the language of the author, alamatu al-khafdi, the sign of something being majroor or makhfud. Those have preceded. How many different categories of i'rab are there? We have marfu', mansub, majroor, and majzoom. We have four kinds of i'rab, four categories of cases, you could say here in i'rab. So we have taken three of those four. At this time, we introduce وَلِلْجَزْمِ عَلَامَتَانِ. So jazm has two signs. Now the goal of this lesson is not to give detailed examples of the sukun and the hazf and all of that. The goal of this lesson is to set that up for the next two lessons. As you've seen in the way we're looking at these lessons, the doormat page, we call this, the introduction to the concept of jazm having two signs. This just introduces that idea, and we also review what's passed on this day when we introduce something. The next 2 days would be each of those two signs with a dedicated study each day to that sign, examples, details, exceptions, and all that stuff that we would talk about. Tayyib. So then, review. Where's the doormat page for alamatul rafa'? 14. Page 14, okay. That was quick, mashallah. Page 14? Or you mean lesson 14? Lesson 14. All right, lesson 14, it says, 5 indicators of the mansub case. That's mansub. We've got our doormat page for the mansub case. So go before that to lesson number 9. Lesson number 9 is 4 indicators of the marfu' case. I read lesson number 9 for us. Ya Jibrilu. نعم باب معرفة علامات الإعراب. This is the beginning of the signs of i'rab and the 4 cases of i'rab and all of their signs. للرفع 4 علامات. طيب. الضمة والواو والألف والنون. طيب. رفع has 4. The marfu' case has 4 signs of being marfu'. Any word that you say this word is marfu', the sign has to be 4. 1 of 4. What of those 4 signs? We said al-dhamma here, al-waw, al-alif, wal-noon. Which one is called the alamat asliya? The basic sign, the origin. The dhamma. All right. So the dhamma is the original sign of something being marfu'. We call that the alama asliya. The other three are called far'iyya. Alamat far'iyya. And so in our i'rab, we might say something like Ja al-Muslimun. The Muslims came. Ja al-Muslimun. What's the i'rab of al-Muslimun? Fa'il. We'll talk about fa'il later. Right now, marfu'. Ismun marfu'. Jam' mudhakkar salim. So what's the sign of it being marfu'? The waw. Alamatu raf'ihi al-waw. Niyabatan an al-dhamma. That's how you interact with the alama asliya and the alama far'iyya. So the waw is an alama far'iyya. So when you make i'rab, you say alamatu raf'ihi al-waw niyabatan an al-dhamma. Standing in the place of the dhamma, the original sign of something being marfu'a. Okay, so Sadiq, can you give me any example of a word that's marfu'a with a dhamma as a sign? Huh? Siddiqun. Ja'a Siddiqun. There's a sentence. Ja'a Siddiq arrived. Ja'a Siddiqun. طيب, so Siddiq is here. Siddiqun, not Siddiqan or Siddiqin or Siddiq with just a sukoon, but Siddiqun. So we've got a dhamma on there. That's your sign of i'rab. So we say Ja'a Siddiq, Siddiqun fa'ilun marfu'un alamatu raf'ihi al-dhammatu al-dhahira. We don't have to say niyaba because the dhamma is al-alama al-asliya. All right, ya Aba Maryam, we've got two other signs of something being marfu'a. Pick one and give me an example. Ja'a rajulani. طيب. So rajulani is ism muthanna, marfu'a. Al-alifu niyabatan an al-dhamma. Niyabatan an al-dhammati. Nice. And the last one, ya Sultan. The four signs of i'rab, they are what? The dhamma, the waw. Al-rajulani, yeah.
Where's the dhamma?
There is no dhamma. He didn't say there was a dhamma. He said there was an alif. Rajulani. And he said that alif was in place of the dhamma, the alama asliya. All right, then back to you, Abu Asiya. The fourth one, give us an example. If you need to, just look at lesson number 9. 4 indicators of the marfu'a case. Know where your lessons are, your doormat pages. Number 9 is a very important lesson. The rafi arba'u alamatin. الضمة والواو والألف والنون. ثبوت النون or ثبات النون or إثبات النون. طيب, so give us an example. يفعلون. All right, يفعلون. يسألونك عن الأنفال. طيب, يفعلون with a noon. لم يفعلوا, لن يفعلوا, but يفعلون if it's مرفوع. مرفوع علامة رفعه what? ثبوت النون. نيابة عن الضمة. طيب, go to lesson 14. Read it, يا أبا آسيا.
والنصب 5 علامات.
So nasb has 5 signs of something being mansub. There's 5 signs to show you that. Now, just to be clear, from lesson 9 to lesson 14, how many lessons are there? 10, 11, 12, and 13. That means each lesson is for each individual sign in detail. Those are reviewable on all the recordings. Everything is very easily laid out. Right? Now we go to mansub. We have 5 signs. So that means lesson 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, the next 5 lessons will be each and every one of those signs of something being mansub, 1 page, 1 lesson for each sign. And it's not that every sign only works with one kind of word. Like a sign here is either for an ism or a fi'l. Sometimes it covers a few different types of words. Like the dhamma, you can put it on ism mufrad, you can put it on jam' taksir for marfu', right? You can put it on fi'l mudari' alladhi lam yattasil bi akhirihi shay'un. So the dhamma is versatile. It goes on a lot of different kinds of words. That's why we study each sign in an entire lesson. These 5, what are they? Read them. Al-fathatu.
Al-fathatu wal-alifu wal-kasratu wal-ya'u wal-harfu nun.
Nice. Okay. Which one of those is the alama asliya? The fatha. And the remaining 4 are called alamat far'iyya. They are secondary types of signs. Just to sort of wrap it up here, I would like to ask you at this time for an example for each kind, but time is short. So let's skip now to lesson number 20. And then we have there
وللخفض ثلاث علامات.
نعم.
الكسرة والياء والفتحة.
Okay, so lesson 20 is our doormat page for al-khafd. Al-khafd is another word for al-jar. So something being majroor, or in other words, something being makhfood, those are interchangeable words. There are three signs. So remember your signs of i'rab, there are 4, 5, and 3 so far. 3 signs for something to be majroor or makhfood. And they are, as you've said, kasra, ya, and fatha. Which one is the alama asliya? The kasra. And then which one is the far'iyya? Or which ones? The ya and the fatha. They are the alamatani far'iyyatani. We'll listen to the adhan, inshallah. Again, the reminder here is lesson 20 is the introduction to 3 signs of something being makhfood. So that means lesson 21, lesson 22, and lesson 23 are what? Each one of those signs in a detailed lesson. So lesson 21 will be the kasra, lesson 22 will be the ya, and lesson 23 will be the fatha, in that order. The matan of Ajrumiyya is very well organized as a matan. It's very beneficial to memorize it and to remember the system that is used in it to present these real basic ideas in grammar. For that reason, the ulama have embraced it throughout the centuries because it's very well written, very easily organized. So, again, we don't want to really go into detailed review of all of that, but the kasra, give me an example of anything that's makhfood with a kasra. Can you do it, Sultan? Any word in any context with a kasra as a sign of it being makhfood. في الكتاب. في الكتاب نص مهم. Finish your sentence. في الكتاب كلام. There's some speech in the book. في الكتاب كلام. طيب. So the word kitab is مخفوض. How would you make i'rab of it? الكتاب مخفوض. علامة رفعه، علامة نصبه، علامة خفضه، علامة خفضه الكسرة. Nice. And then Abba Maryam, give me an example of something that's makhfood that doesn't have a kasra from any other example you can bring. رأيت أخي في بيت أحمد. Let's take the word Ahmad. It's makhfood, right? Because of idafa. في بيت أحمد. So the word Ahmad here is makhfood. It's مضاف إليه. It's makhfood. Makhfood here وعلامة خفضه الفتحة نيابة عن الكسرة. And why does it have a fatha? Because it's ممنوع من الصرف. طيب. So here we have an example of a kasra as your علامة أصلية and an example of a fatha نيابة عن الكسرة. And that would be found in your lessons number 21, 22, and 23 somewhere. And we arrived today at lesson number 24. Jazm has 2 alamas, the sukun and the hadf. So I just wanted to review with you everything up until now. We have the division of these 2 signs into the asliya and the far'iyya. There's an alama asliya and an alama far'iyya for the sukun and the hadf. Ya Sultan, which one is the alama asliya for jazm? Jazm has 2 alamas. Just think, go back to marfu'. The alama asliya is the dhamma. Go back to mansub, the alama asliya is the fatha. Go back to makhfood, the alama asliya is the kasra. Notice that the signs, the basic signs of i'rab are the harakat. That's a letter. We're looking for harakat. What harakat remains? Sukun is the only one left. So sukun is the original sign. We have sukun and hadf. We only have 2 choices. Either sukun or hadf. So the sukun is alama asliya. It is the basic sign of something being majzoom. And then what's the alama far'iyya? It's the hadf. And we have 2 types of hadf that we'll study. The hadf al-noon, like in lam yaf'alu. Lam yaf'alu. And we have hadf harf al-illa, like lam yaqdi. Lam yaqdi. Yaqdi with a ya, because it's mu'tal al-akhir. It has the harf illa in the end. Yaqdi, yaghzu. Then when you put a lam, harf jazim in front of the fi'l mudari', you get lam yaqdi. Take away the ya and leave the kasra on the dad. Lam yaqdi. Lam yaghzu. Not lam yaghzu. Take off the waw. Lam yaghzu. Put a dhamma on the zay and you take off that waw. That waw is mahdoof. So the sign of yaghzu being majzoom is حذف الواو حذف حرف العلة. And the sign of يقضي being majzoom is حذف الياء يقضي with just a kasra. يقض يقضي. So the hadf that's intended by the author here is of two types. That's coming in detail with examples in lesson number 26, insha'Allah ta'ala. That's all we wanted to do today, is getting back to regular lessons after Ramadan is important now at this time of getting disciplined. Realizing that this book is very orderly. It's very organized. It's very structured. It's very logical in the way it proceeds. We're going to come to the end of all the alamat. Then basically the rest of the book is, what are the things that cause these alamat to change? That's all. The book is basically two things. What are the signs of i'rab? And then after that, what are the operations that happen? What are the names? Like when we say fa'il, that's one of them. When we say mudaf, mudaf ilay, these kinds of things, those are the things that are coming up next. That's what makes something majroor or mansoob or marfu'. That's all. So we introduce the signs. And then after that, the second part of our study is we introduce all of the ways that different words come to impact those other words and cause those alamat to change. That's it. Al-Ajrumi is just simply that, stated in two basic ideas. And Allah Ta'ala knows best. Any questions, comments, concerns before we end? وجزاكم والله أعلم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.